And welcome everyone. A very pleasant. Are we live? And welcome everyone. A very pleasant good afternoon live here from Ives Lamel Family Field. We've got JV football here in the confines of Brevard College between your Brevard College Tornadoes and the Georgia Knights Prep Academy coming down from Snellville, Georgia for a Sunday afternoon matchup here against the Tornadoes. Tornadoes in their second season of the JV program here under Coach Kyatt and company, still looking for that first JV victory. I believe 3 games last season, 1 so far on the docket this year. So in total, number 5 here against the Georgia Knights, looking for victory number 1. And we've got a few players we'll highlight when we come back from the break. I will have my partner, Obadiah Grimes, on the air with me, a new face here on the Tornado broadcast. Tornadoes and Knights back here in just a moment from Ives Lamel.
It's important to study English because language
history
Welcome back, everyone. About 15 minutes away from kickoff here at Ives Lamel Family Field. On the air here with my partner for today, Obadiah Grimes. Obi, good to have you on the stream here on the call for the JV game.
Good to be on the stream.
So, Obi, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts about this Tornado JV team as they head into their second matchup of their season against the Georgia Knights? I know you know a few players on the Georgia Knights.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I feel like the JV, they've been going pretty hard at practice. I think we have a pretty good shot. And the Georgia Knights, they're from around where I'm from in Georgia. So, I think they got some ballers that they can do what they got to do to win.
Absolutely. And so we had a little segment with T-Will, the T-Will All-Stars. I know in the pregame we had mentioned a little segment with you. What kind of things are you looking for the Tornadoes to do here? We've got our little X's and Obs segment.
On Obi's X's and O's, I'm excited for the Tornadoes. I'm really excited for the D-line, especially to ball out today. And a lot of the safeties and DBs. And then on offensive side of the ball, I think they have a really good shot today to get things going and move the ball down the field and score.
I know we've got a guy, Brandon Moody, playing nose today for the Tornadoes. Had a big game in that first JV game that me and Trey Williams called. And obviously, as a fellow D lineman, you get to see him in practice every day. Can we expect another big game from Moody here against the Georgia Knights?
Yeah, Moody, he's just one of those guys. He came in, he looked like the type to be one of the guys. He goes hard in practice. He does what he needs to do. That's that.
Absolutely. So just for everybody watching this game, to be clear, we have not yet seen the Georgia Knights take the field. We have not had any advanced word other than kickoff has been moved to 2:30, a kickoff that was originally scheduled for 2 o'clock, but due to travel and transportation issues, got moved to 2:30. We are about 15 minutes away from that and are yet to see the Georgia Knights. Not sure if they're ready to go or not, but for now, assuming a 2:30 kickoff. And another note that we just got from the officials, quarters will be 12 minutes instead of 15 today. So should be a good one. Still waiting on the Georgia Knights to take the field here at Ives Lamel. The Tornadoes have already come out and completed their warm-ups, about 13 and a half minutes out from kickoff between the Knights and the Tornadoes. We will take a break and be back here in just a few moments for this JV Sunday presentation of Brevard College football.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at Ives Lamel Family Field, just an update for everybody awaiting kickoff on this one. Tornadoes still in the locker room. Georgia Knights supposedly not here on campus yet. The officials supposedly growing a little bit weary and tired with the Georgia Knights right now. Kickoff was originally scheduled for 2 o'clock, now slated for a 2:30 kickoff, but without the Georgia Knights present, going to be tough to get done. Their coaching staff, we're getting word, is here, but the players still yet to arrive here at Brevard, so a representative from the Georgia Knights talking things over with officials near their locker room, and we will give you an update on that as soon as we can. Already had quarters bumped down from 15 minutes to 12, and we are hearing that the Georgia Knights are now about 10 minutes away from arrival, so depending on whether or not they need to warm up, could be more of a 2:45 type kickoff, much to the dismay, I'm sure, of the Tornado fans, but doing our best to get this game to you and doing so in a timely fashion, but due to travel issues from the Georgia Knights, this game continues to be delayed. The second JV game of the season for the Tornadoes on a Sunday. Third game. 2 games already played against Palmetto Prep. So this, contrary to what I said earlier, this will be the 6th game in Brevard JV program history. And for those of you that didn't catch it yesterday, the Brevard varsity Tornadoes getting a 34-24 victory at Greensboro to move them to 2-0 in conference play. They take on Southern Virginia here at Ives Lamel next week, looking to move to 3-0 in conference play and even up their overall record to 3-3. The Tornadoes had 3 interceptions and 5 sacks of the quarterback yesterday, with a few forced fumbles and a few blocked kicks as well in that one. So a good team victory for the Tornadoes. Maybe a little bit closer than they wanted things to be, but either way, as Coach Kyatt was told after the game yesterday, a dub is a dub. Supposed to be 3 minutes away from kickoff here at Ives Lamel, but as I stated, waiting on the Georgia Knights, who are just about 10 minutes away from Ives Lamel. And then once we have an updated kickoff time, we will give that to all of you at home watching, awaiting the kickoff for this one. Tornadoes and Knights, we're going to take another break. Be back here in just a few moments as we wait on the opponent to show up.
It's important to study English because language
history,
All right, Tornado fans, just another quick update for you. The Georgia Knights are here and are preparing to take the field momentarily. The Tornadoes have been ready, honestly, probably cooled all the way down from the warming up they did for what seems like about half an hour ago since they went into the locker room. But the Georgia Knights are here, and we've got a few adjustments to how this game is going to be played. As I mentioned before, in case you missed it, instead of 15-minute quarters, we'll be playing 12-minute quarters here against the Knights. And instead of a true halftime, it'll be an extended timeout for halftime. So expect maybe 3 to 5 minute break after the second quarter, and then we'll get rolling again because the officials, Coach Bayless, and everybody else involved seems to be in a hurry to get this one played. And you love the competitiveness from Martin Bayless, itching to get that first JV victory here and does not want to wait another second on the Georgia Knights, and neither do I, quite frankly. But we continue to wait, and we will be back here in just a moment from Ives Lamel Family Field. Brady Penn and Obi Grimes on the call if we get this one kicked off. Hopefully we do here in the next few minutes. Back in a moment. Tornado fans, one more update for you here from Ives Lamel Family Field. Like we said, the Georgia Knights are here. Shorter quarters, shortened halftime, all of that. But kickoff is now officially set for 3:15 as I can hear the collective groans of NATO fans watching this, hearing another delay. We share your sentiment up here. We are waiting on the Georgia Knights, but confirmed 3:15 kickoff. So if you want to go watch some NFL for the next 20 minutes or so, feel more than free. And then you can watch some Tornado JV action here with me and Obadiah Grimes on the call. But just wanted to update all of NATO Nation on another prolonged kickoff here against the Georgia Knights. Back here in just a few moments from Ives Lamel.
It's important to study English because language
All right, folks, after a long wait, the much anticipated JV matchup between the Tornadoes and the Georgia Knights Prep Academy is finally about to commence here at Ives Lamel Family Field. We've got the captains going out for the coin toss. Brady Penn on the call, accompanied by my partner Obadiah Grimes. As you see the two Tornado captains heading out, Thomas Kramer, the quarterback, and Eddie Alvala, an outside linebacker for the Tornadoes. And an interesting matchup, an interesting story this afternoon as the Georgia Knights took what seemed like forever and a day to find Brevard, North Carolina. And whatever caused those travel issues is thankfully in the past. Obviously, the referees, Coach Bayless, and everybody else has been eager to get this one started. But give us your thoughts once again, Obi, on what you're thinking of this matchup.
I think Georgia Knights Prep Academy, they came in a little late. I don't know if they're going to be able to put up the best fight against our JV team here in Brevard, but hopefully it's a good matchup.
Obviously, you see a much smaller sideline for the Knights as compared to the Tornadoes.
Yep.
It looks like we will receive the kickoff.
There's still a couple people running out of the locker room.
Yeah, it's just a real ragtag operation right now for the Georgia Knights. We're about to kick off, and we have guys just now coming out the locker room, like you said. And Tornadoes will return the kick. They will get the kickoff to start the ball game. Georgia Knights deferring. And just about ready to go here at Ives Lamel. Finally, at long last, correction to what I said earlier, 6th all-time game for the JV program here in Brevard. And looking for victory number 1. Went 0-3 last year, had a couple of tight contests, including one here at home against Palmetto Prep that really the wheels kind of fell off when Thomas Kramer got injured last season against Palmetto Prep. And 2 games against Palmetto this year have shown some fight, shown some good things at times, but still seeking that first victory. And it will be Josh Gibson back to return the opening kickoff here. It'd be interesting to see with a prep academy like this, a short-handed prep academy like this, do they even have a real kickoff specialist? I know personally a guy, Brandon Hamrick, that kicked at Walnut Grove High School was on the Georgia Knights. I do believe that he recently may have left the team from my sources. And, yeah, it's not – I think it's safe to say that is not a designated kicker. Number 55, River Steele. And I think with a kicker like this, all 11 guys on the KOR team got to be ready for the ball to come to them.
Indeed.
Gibson back deep, along with Anthony Simpkins. And here is River Steele's first kick. He boots it. This one is going to be fielded. Short kick, fumbled now by Gibson, who picks it up around the 25. Running with it now, Gibson has a crease in the middle. He will be brought down just shy of the 40. So good opening field position for Thomas Kramer and the Tornadoes here. Thomas Kramer, obviously, you've seen him in both games of action on JV this year. Saw him in a few games last year on the JV team, and a guy with a lot of experience and a guy that really knows this offense like the back of his hand.
Well, he's been here for such a long time.
Thomas Kramer, his 6th year in the program and leading the Tornado offense here today. Simpkins out wide to the left. Josh Gibson will get out wide to the right inside the numbers. And the first play will be a handoff to Stephen Luongo that'll get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the offensive line looks like they just need to hold up their blocks for an extra couple seconds there so the running back can get through.
Obviously, the offensive line has been a point of emphasis for this JV group through the first 2 games. Thomas Kramer and the running backs have not had a lot of help from that front 5, and looking for a little bit better of an effort here today. Obviously, attrition could easily set in for the D-line for Georgia Knights with what assumedly is a very small amount of subs. Kramer, Luongo to his right, 3 receivers out right. The receiver by himself to the left now coming across in motion is Freilich. Kramer looking to the left. He's got Simpkins just shy of the sticks. It'll set up a 3rd and short for the Tornado offense right at midfield.
And if we can keep stuff like that up, keep moving the chains, we can really win this ball game.
Trying to get a rhythm going here on this opening series. Coming in now, A.J. Gathers at running back. And correction, that is Diego Kufi-Disla. Guy that played linebacker last year for the Tornadoes, now converted to running back. We'll see if he gets it here on 3rd and short. He does, but there's a flag.
I believe it's a false start. I think the left guard, number 74.
Looks like this will make it a 3rd and a little bit less manageable. Yes, a false start. That penalty went against Austin Belcher, the freshman out of Pittsboro, North Carolina. And now it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Tornadoes. Kufi-Disla still in there. Diego more of a short yardage running back. You see the 2 tight ends coming out. Freilich in. Braxton Mueller in as well. Mueller will line up in the slot to the right. Josh Gibson outside of him. Freilich and Simpkins to the left. Kufi-Disla to Kramer's right. Kramer takes a snap, looking left, going left, and that one, a little bit of a miscommunication between Simpkins and Kramer. Simpkins wanted a flag, will not get it. And so it'll be a 3 and out on the opening series for the Tornadoes, and a bit too familiar for this Tornado JV offense is that 3 and out. It'll be Brennan Kafori to punt this one away. And back deep for the Georgia Knights. Do not have an 89 listed on the roster. And this one will bounce at the 25, now inside the 20. He'll pick it up and will be knocked out of bounds at around the 25. Gets a few yards on the return there, and that will set up the offense for the Georgia Knights.
That was a pretty good punt there by Kafori.
And he's been doing it all season for them, and some people that think that he should get some Saturday looks, he's looked really good here in these Sunday games for the Tornadoes. A sophomore that has gotten a lot better from the time that he first got here on campus, has really started to perfect his craft punting the football. And really has been a big help for this JV program in flipping the field, even when the offense can't get a lot going.
Yep, and hopefully the defense today can stop the run especially. It looks like they're in nickel right now.
First snap of the game for Georgia Knights is a run to the left that will get maybe 5.
I had no idea what Eddie was doing out there. Number 23, it seemed like he was walking towards the sideline before the play was.
Maybe trying to get some sort of check and then not ready for the snap.
Yeah.
You see A.J. Richardson lined up, normally a cornerback, now looking like he's at the nickel. Interesting to see A.J. here in the nickel spot. Another handoff, this time going to the right, and that one will be brought down, a first down.
Yeah, and
this is number 28, Randolph Murray Jr. on the run there.
This Georgia Knights Prep Academy, their own line seems to be moving some of the guys out of the way. The D-line just really needs to stay strong up in there and make a play on the ball.
If I can be quite candid, some bigger O-linemen, but O-linemen that do not look like they're in shape, and the Tornado D-line really needs to make an effort to get in there today.
Correct.
Dropping back, first pass of the afternoon for Georgia Knights. He'll find his man underneath, and he will drag his way forward for another first down.
Yeah, it's pretty solid execution there by the receiver and the quarterback.
That'll be number 81, Roach. And it'll be the second first down of the drive here. Looks like Jalen Smith and Maury McDaniel, the starting corners in the secondary. Richardson at nickel. See Zeke Hutchinson in there as well as Tony Belcher at the linebacker positions. Dropping back, looking to the right now. This one is intercepted. Davion Coleman. He's got a block, cuts back, and he will be in. no, just short. Brought down inside the 5 at the 1. And that will be, I believe, Davion Coleman on the interception. Had an interception last week against Palmetto Prep and now gets another one here. And Davion Coleman, look, remember last week in practice he had traded the helmets a few times with James Woods, who has a few of those, and it could be the helmet.
Yeah, definitely. Davion just seemed to be reading the quarterback's eyes, and
I really don't know what the quarterback was looking at there. It looked like Coleman was the intended receiver all the way. He threw it right to him, and as a result, the Tornadoes knocking on the door to start their second drive. Kofi Disla in the backfield. Pistol look for Kramer. Kramer takes a snap, hands off to Kofi Disla. It gets blown up.
Yep, and like I said prior, the O-line really just needs to hold their block for another couple seconds. But the Georgia Knight Preps Academy seemed to have an abnormally large defensive lineman up there in the middle playing nose.
For sure. That looked like Jeremiah Caldwell. First one to get in there on the tackle as Devon Taylor comes out. Taylor, another guy like Kofi Disla that used to be a defensive guy and just recently moved over to fullback, getting some reps here on a Sunday. We saw him in last Saturday's varsity game against Maryville as he heads out. Kramer rolling out to the right, looking for somebody, throws it up. It is caught! Touchdown, Aiden Freilich.
Yep.
Freilich in the right corner of the end zone, and what were you saying, Obi? Sorry.
No, you're good. It was just the typical boot play that they run.
I remember last week in the Maryville game for the varsity, Ethan Beamish found Adam Douglas on that same exact play for a big 2-point conversion. And the Tornadoes now on a Sunday pulling the same play out. Thomas Kramer fired up. And defense leading to offense as Davion Coleman gets the interception, returns it inside the 5. And the Tornadoes get a score as that kick is going to sail wide left. No good there. And so that'll make it a 6-0 ball game.
This is pretty exciting, though, for the Tornadoes, getting things going early.
Absolutely. As I said, defense turning into offense, and we've got a replay of that interception by Davion Coleman. You see the quarterback looking right. His receiver does not run what I believe he anticipated he was running, and instead he throws it right into the arms of Coleman. Gets a block and gets inside the 5. 6:06 to go now in the first. As a reminder, 12-minute quarters being played in this one, in part due to the travel issues that caused Georgia Knights to get here and ultimately kick the ball off an hour and 15 minutes late. And instead of a regular halftime, folks, at the end of the second quarter, it'll be an extended timeout for the half.
And the key part for the rest of this game is the defense just needs to make stops, which I believe they can do.
Looked up to the task on that first drive, a little bend but don't break action. Gave up a few first downs and then came up with a big turnover. Able to get a good run back with it, too.
Yep.
And it'll be Owen Botts to kick this one away. High kick deep to the left. It'll be fielded. And now heading back towards the middle. He is going to break a tackle. Moving backwards now to his left, and he's wrapped up and brought down.
Yep, if I'm the ball carrier in that situation, I'm just trying to move north and south, not really east and west.
That's 31, Jeremy Burgess there on the kickoff team making the tackle after the return man had broken one. Was not able to get away from Burgess there. He brings him down. The returner had gone backwards. Ultimately loses yards and has Georgia Knights starting inside their own 20.
And the Tornadoes in the nose position there have 95, I believe it's Summy. He had a pretty good game against Palmetto Prep last weekend. So hopefully he can make a big impact today.
Another guy that flipped sides of the ball, a guy that started out as a tight end when he first got here.
Yep.
McDaniel and Smith still the corners. Richardson at nickel. Handoff on the first play out to the right side. Belcher trying to come get it. Coleman now gets in there. Belcher will bring him down. Tony Belcher on the tackle on the run out to the right. He missed it on his first effort. Coleman was able to slow him down after the missed tackle, and Belcher able to recover and get him down.
Belcher looked like he was going for the ball there for a little strip, but, maybe next play.
Second and, we'll call it 6.
The Tornadoes are still in nickel package, though, which seems to be working.
Team that runs a lot of nickel. You see it on our Saturday varsity games. A lot of nickel gets ran. No different here for the JV. This time a run to the left. A hole is there. Hutchinson goes for the tackle and will get him.
Yep, the outside zone.
Zeke Hutchinson making the tackle there to set up a third down for the Georgia Knights, and the Tornadoes for the second time in 2 defensive possessions with a chance to get off the field. Alvala comes off. Elijah Brown also coming off. And a third and short here for the Knights. Backs on either side of the quarterback, 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. It'll be a handoff, and it will not get much. Don't believe it gets the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Hopefully the Georgia Knights have a punt team. It doesn't look like anybody else is coming on the field.
And they will give them the first down, so the sticks will move. We won't find out about the punter yet.
Oh.
Interesting spot there. From our angle, it looked like he was short, but
it sure did.
We'll trust the referees. Surely their head is fully in it after having to wait so long. First down for the Knights. A stack receivers to the right. It'll be a pass play. Quarterback stepping up, looking over the middle, caught for a short gain there by number 81, Roach, once again. And, folks, on the roster, that is literally the only name we have for him is Roach. I don't know if that's a first name. I don't know if that's a last name. I don't know if that's a nickname, but that's what we got in the roster. So Roach with his second grab. 2 receivers out wide to the left. Roach out to the right. Backs on either side. Now handoff to the left. Cutting back, breaking a tackle, and now being brought down once again by Tony Belcher. His second tackle of the game.
Yep, broke a few tackles there. They really need to wrap up, drive their feet.
That'll move the chains once again. A first down for the Knights. So just like their first drive, a couple of first downs picked up.
Yep, hopefully the Tornadoes can make a big play right here, maybe get another turnover.
As a matter of fact, if you look at the first down ratio, 4 for the Knights, 0 first downs gained for the Tornadoes, but the score not reflecting the same story. 6-0 Tornadoes had the key interception and then the score right after. Under 3 minutes to go here, 6-0 Tornadoes. Receiver motions in from the left, condenses. Now a tight end motion and whistles blow. Looks like this will be an illegal motion. No, delay of game against the Knights. Not an illegal shift. That'll back them up 5. 2:47 to go here in the first. 6-0 Tornadoes. I think it's safe to say that on both sides here, Tornadoes and Knights, we've seen some sloppy play early on. Tornadoes making a bit less errors so far.
And that's all you need to do. That's the key.
1st and 15. Quarterback drops back. He's under pressure, and he'll go down. A swarm of Tornadoes in there. And looks like number 44, James McLean, getting in there amongst a group of Tornadoes to bring down the quarterback and move Georgia Knights Prep Academy even further behind the chains after the penalty on first down. So the ball.
It seemed to be that McLean came off the edge there, which is pretty good, just collapsing that pocket.
Absolutely. The ball on the 29 now. Yard line to gain is the 49, so they're going to have to get all the way to midfield in these next 2 plays. This one's a run outside of the left, gets a block, and then brought down immediately.
The Georgia Knights really love that left side outside zone. They've worked the past couple plays, but maybe past 2 or 3 times they've run it, it hasn't really worked out as well for them.
It's James McLean once again there on the tackle. A good series for him.
Yep, have yourself a drive, kid.
Now 3rd and 23 from the 27. Losing yards on 3 straight plays are the Knights The delay of game penalty, then the sack, and then the tackle for a loss on the run there. 3rd and 23. Receiver motions over to the left. Play action. Looking over the middle. It is going to be caught short of the first down, about 5 yards short, tackled there by Caden Thompson and Coleman. And it'll set up 4th and short, and especially in this part of the field, would not be surprised to see the Georgia Knights go for it.
No, not at all. Still no punter running on the field. Hopefully it could be just a punt-safe situation where the quarterback punts the ball.
4th and 4 from their own 46. And the whistles blow. There's a flag.
Yeah, possibly could be a false start over there on the top side receiver.
Let's see if somebody jumped. And yes, a false start will back them up to a 4th and 9 from the 41. And what they do here will tell us a lot about their punt situation as Justin Tournier makes his way into the game for his first play. And
seems to be number 98, Vella's running off the field.
looks like Kenneth Thomas. They've got a wide bunch here. Kenneth Thomas pressing the point. Richardson now at corner, so it looks like Thomas will be playing that nickel here on this 4th down snap.
And that was Christian Williams, number 50, running onto the field there.
Bunch wide to the right. Looking, throwing, caught, and he will get the first down and more. Tournier not able to get the angle to make the tackle, and a first down for the Georgia Knights. 3rd one of the drive. They overcome 3rd and 20 plus, and I believe that will take us to the end of the first quarter here. As the clock ticks down, we'll see if they try and get this snap off. I don't think they're going to. And they will not. That will be the end of the first. Tornadoes leading at 6-0, but the Georgia Knights creeping into Tornado territory now on their second drive of the ball game. 6-0 Nados. Back in just a second.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back for quarter number 2 here. Georgia Knights just inside Tornado territory here to start the second. Tornadoes holding a 6-0 lead as Georgia Knights will start it with a run to the right. He bounces out and hit hard. Davion Coleman already has put a stamp on this game early and comes down and lays a big hit on the running back there.
Yeah, Coleman.
And it'll be a flag against him, I believe.
Oh.
It might call a targeting.
That didn't seem to be helmet to helmet. It looked
I didn't
like
think
he
so
really
either.
just used his shoulder.
And could be against the Georgia Knights, actually. We're hearing up here in the booth. Big hit, clean hit. So hopefully that is the penalty, as a block in the back and not something against Coleman.
Yeah.
It will be a block in the back.
Yeah, Coleman really filled the alley there, making a play on the ball. That's what he's been doing on that pick as well.
There's our boy Roach with the flag there. So 1st and 20 here, back inside their own territory after the penalty.
They can still convert, though, as they did on that 4th down, and it was 3rd and 20 at one point. So you can't count anything out.
From the spot of the foul, so it'll be 1st and 17. Coleman gets there a little early, but does break up the pass. No flag.
It's a
and it'll be
debatable
2nd
flag.
down. Coleman off to a good start here in this one.
the ball just keeps on seeming to find him.
All over the field is Davion Coleman. An interception, a big hit, and now a pass breakup. And we're early into the second quarter. I just got to say, these Georgia Knights uniforms are hideous. As we await the snap here on second down. More on that in a moment. I've got to share my thoughts there. Pass, looking over the middle, incomplete. He had his man through it just a bit behind him. That was Chris Washington, the intended receiver.
It seemed to be that there was a couple tornadoes in the area that probably could have picked off the ball.
Got to take your eyes to the man first. As Coach Ladarius Wiley always preaches to us DBs, got to take your eyes to the man first before you can drive for the ball.
But it looks like the Tornadoes are getting a pretty good rush on the outside for number 41.
Already starting to wear on that O-line, yes.
Daniel Johnson.
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
As this will be the quarterback rolling out to the right, throwing over the middle. This one will be caught. He's going to try and fight for the first down. Will not get it, and he will be suplexed, and there comes the flag.
Yeah, that's a bit excessive by the Tornadoes, but it happens. Sometimes we get carried away.
Who was that in there on that?
I have no idea.
96, Elisha Brown. A fellow D lineman, one of the young D linemen that you guys are really big on. But
yeah, he probably wanted to make a statement right there, which he did. You know, it just cost the team a penalty.
Penalty or not, you know that guy felt it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, that's the kind of penalty. That's the kind of penalty that Martin Bayless likes to see. If you know anything about Coach Bayless, he doesn't mind getting one of those penalties to send a message.
Really emphasizes the forearm to the helmet.
Yeah, if you're a linebacker and you see a receiver coming to block you, Coach Bayless wants to see your forearm in his face mask, as we've been told on multiple occasions. This one's a run that will make a few tacklers miss, and now a gang tackle here for the Tornadoes will get him a minimal gain there.
Number 23, Eduardo Alvala, he could have made a play there back in the backfield, but just let him slip away.
Second down, clock ticking. 10:15 to go here in the first half. Tornadoes leading at 6-0, but Georgia Knights Prep Academy is moving the ball.
Yeah, and they've been doing that all game, so nothing's new. We just got to get a stop here.
Feels like a really long drive here for the Knights, as this one will be a hand up to the left side. A few yards gained will set up third and medium.
Yeah, this offensive line from the Prep Academy seems to be moving the ball down the field, which is good. They're just moving people out of the way, which is all you need.
It kind of feels like the D-line is getting in there on all the run plays, but the running backs you've got a good level of shiftiness, and it doesn't feel like the Tornadoes' first guy there is making the tackle a lot.
Yeah, that's true. The running backs do have pretty good ball carrier vision.
A new man coming in here for the Knights, number 80, Tyler Brent. And a little bit of confusion. 2 on the play clock, and now a timeout called by the Knights.
Seemed to be like number 80 for the Knights. Wasn't getting set, or he didn't know the play.
It looked like Tyler Brent, who subbed in late, wasn't quite sure what he was doing there on that one. So Tornado defense has them 3rd and 7. Obviously, from what we've seen, the Knights will probably go for it if they don't get this, especially if they gain positive yardage. So the Tornado defense, I think the emphasis, like you said, is for that D-line to continue just getting pressure and forcing uncomfortable throws for this quarterback.
Yep. Just keep on putting pressure on the quarterback. He will cough up the ball.
Absolutely. 6-0 Tornado lead. What has been a strange game day for these JV Tornadoes. A game day that saw them have to warm up twice due to the lack of being punctual, we'll call it, for the Georgia Knights. Not everybody can navigate the mountain roads easily, so we'll give them a pass.
Yeah, it is kind of treacherous coming up the mountain, especially in the fog. Thankfully today it is a clear, sunny day.
Third down and 7. Tornadoes showing a blitz. They come with the blitz. Dropping back, looking for his running back, who will make the catch through what looks like interference.
Wow. And the quarterback really lobbed the ball up there, but the running back just jumped up and got it.
A great catch there. Caleb Moore was the one that was in coverage. And on top, to add insult to injury, a flag will come in on him. And rather no, it'll be 46. It'll be on Richardson.
AJ is a dog.
It
but
looked like Caleb Moore was the one in the vicinity that would be called on, the one that got caught on, but at least the referee putting the penalty against Richardson. Georgia Knights threatening. Immediate pressure gets in. He tries to throw it, and it will fall short of the receiver. Richardson right there in coverage and the celebration.
Yep. And Brandon Moody, he told y'all in the pregame he's going to make a difference today. He's got to get him down on the ground.
2nd and goal from the 10 now for the Georgia Knights. Richardson will come up on the receiver on the left side. Looks like Jabari McNeil. And Kuntz, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands it off, running outside of the left. Tornadoes trying to bring him down. He will keep pushing forward, and he will power his way into the end zone. A powerful run there for number 28, Randolph Murray Jr.
And that just looked like a busted play. The offensive line didn't hold their blocks as long as they should have, and the running back just opened his eyes up to the left and kept it chugging.
It looked like the Tornadoes were going to get him down and set up a 3rd and goal, and he just kept pushing through, and that guy.
Yeah, there seemed to be at least 3 or 4 tornadoes in the area,
Randolph
not touching him.
Randolph Murray has been lifting weights, it looks like. And so now 6 apiece after that touchdown, and we'll see if River Steel can knock in this PAT. Obviously, just taking a look at him, likely not a de facto kicker. Or default kicker, and
it's good.
I mean, he's made his PAT. 7-6. Tornado offense will finally get a chance at their 3rd possession. That felt like a really, really long possession there for Georgia Knights.
It did. I feel like the Tornadoes offense, this is a statement drive right here. They got to make something happen.
Thomas Kramer in the offense. We'll see what they come out with. A hot afternoon here in Brevard for October. And anybody keeping up with the NFL today, the Denver Broncos have come all the way back, now tied up 28 apiece with the Chicago Bears, as our producer Joseph Marvin has it up here on the monitor as we await this kickoff. 28 apiece. Yeah, and a window full of non-competitive NFL games. The toilet bowl, per se, between the Bears and the Broncos. 2 0-3 squads. It's turned out to be at least a close matchup. Can't say if the quality of the football was good, but the score says it's a close game. So here's Steele, the big unit, to boot off another one. And fielded now on a pop will be, I believe that's Shepard, Blake Shepard. Josh Gibson was ready to pick that one up and was expecting Shepard to go block for him, and Shepard said, "Now forget that. I want the ball. I want to run with the ball." And he does a little bit of a flip there at the end of the play.
Yeah, and this week he was getting some guard reps, so I'm kind of surprised to see him back there with a skill number jersey on, but it's all good.
The intent there for the Tornadoes, I don't think, was for Shepard to have his hands on the ball.
No, not at all.
So Thomas Kramer.
But whenever you get your opportunity, you got to take it.
Absolutely.
I don't blame him as a big man myself.
Vincent Griffin in the backfield had a good game, the first home JV game against Palmetto, and he gets the tallest play here. Griffin going to try and use his speed to get to the edge, and he'll get maybe 4 or 5 there on 1st down.
And Georgia Knights, they need to really tackle this drive. I think they are taking the more lackadaisical approach
I think tackling has been poor on both sides, if I'm being honest.
Indeed.
A lot of missed tackles already in the first half between these two squads, and the later this game gets and the hotter it gets here, you might can only expect to see more of that as attrition sets in.
And like you were saying, the Georgia Knights, the uniform situation doesn't seem like it's made out the best material either.
The Georgia Knights D tackle looks like he ate another Georgia Knight. As this one will be a little jet play, and he eats up that.
Yep.
That play, Josh Gibson tackled immediately on the little touch pass, the jet motion, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like he just came through the line unscathed. No one laid a hand on him.
We don't have number 58 listed on the roster, but he's not hard to find on the field.
Not at all.
Third down and 10 for Kramer and the Tornadoes here. Kramer takes a step, dropping back, looking left. That one is going to be incomplete. Intended for Gibson. And another quiet Tornado offensive drive, and they'll get ready to punt this one away. Kafori will have his second attempt of the game with 6:04 to go, and the Tornadoes trailing by 1.
Yeah, Kramer just had a lot of pressure in his face on that play. I mean, he still got out of the pocket in time, but it is what it is here.
Back to punt for the Tornadoes, number 36, Brendan Kafori.
Kafori going to try and flip the field once again here. See Caden Thompson at gunner down on the right side. Kafori kicks this one away, middle of the field. It'll bounce around the 35, now inside the 30, and now inside the 25, just in front of the 20. That one will roll all the way to the Georgia Knights 21-yard line, and another good punt by Kafori, who continues to put good things on film.
Yep, Kafori just keeps on flipping that field position, which is huge for a struggling offense, but it's okay. I feel like they can get it back together.
5:52 to go here in the first half. Georgia Knights with their 3rd possession. They don't have the stats on hand, do not have live stats, but you got to feel like the total yards and the first down ratios are very, very different between these two offenses so far.
Yeah, it's very Georgia Knights sided, but that's all right.
The only score for the Tornadoes so far coming after an interception that set them up on the 1-yard line. Other than that, not much doing. 1st and 10 from their own 21. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. And Kuntz looking. He'll roll out left. He's got all kinds of room to run. And he will be brought down. Ball is out. The ball is out. I think that the Knights recovered it, though. And they did.
Brandon Moody with a huge chase down forced fumble. You can see him there. He's a little tired. It's all right, though. He needs to get back in the ball game, keep making plays.
And that is number 85. On the roster, we have 85 listed as Brendan Hamrick. But as someone that personally knows Brendan Hamrick, that's not him. Brendan Hamrick is a short little kicker, and that is not who that 85 is. 1st and 10 on their own 46 after the long run. Fumble that was recovered by 85. Now a run wide to the outside, and it'll be brought down there by 44, James McLean once again.
The outside zone just keeps on seeming to work for the Georgia Knights.
DB's got to come up and get off the blocks.
Yep.
And force that edge.
And that play side end really needs to stay strong over there and not get washed.
McDaniel and Jalen Smith at the corners. Corner's got to be a little bit more alert and come up in the run game like we were saying when it's to the outside like that. 2nd and 6. Kuntz takes the snap. Pump fakes. Now throws to the right and too high. Smith in coverage there.
Caleb Moore on the pressure there on the backside. If only he just got home.
That one intended for 85.
Eli Brown subbing into the game, which is at the bottom of your screen or top of your screen now.
96 lining up there on the left side. It's Summy in on the D-line, and who's the nose? Is it Moody still?
No, it seems to be Summy and Heath.
3rd and 6. 4:15 to go here in the first half. NATO's trailing by a point, 7-6. Kuntz takes a snap, rolls out right, evades a man, now throws it up down the right side, and just overshoots his man over Jalen Smith, and it'll set up a 4th down.
Yep, and Summy with a huge pressure right there in the quarterback's face. They're right there to get in some of these sacks. If they're just a step quicker, they totally different ball game. And I think the Georgia Knights are going for it again on 4th down. No punter seems to be coming into the game.
Does look like it. Fourth and 6. Kuntz takes a snap, scanning, wants the deep shot, looking for it, and it is going to be knocked away, but flags come in. It'll be a pass interference call against the Tornadoes.
And these Tornadoes DBs, if they just wait half a second longer.
That's against Kenneth Thomas. Deep down the field, and looked like just got there a second too early. Great coverage, great technique, and much to the ire of the Tornado crowd here, it'll set the Georgia Knights up for another 1st down.
A.J. Richardson subbing into the game.
Richardson will come in to play nickel. Still McDaniel and Smith at the corners. Just under 4 minutes to go, 7-6 Knights. On again, another, for an October afternoon, toasty here in Brevard, North Carolina. Definitely toasty up here in the booth.
Most definitely.
Kuntz takes a snap, hands it off to the right side, and falling forward for a few extra yards there is the Knights running back.
And this split back formation, it really just looks like they're running outside zone. Not a lot of inside runs today.
Yeah, not a whole lot of diversity in what they're running, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Got to sort of hone in on a few things here, especially that outside zone that they just keep beating to death.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Coach Bayless will have an adjustment for that in this shortened halftime.
Seems to be like they're just using Madden's suggested plays.
And this time it's a quarterback keeper who'll get hit hard. Won't go down on that initial contact, but then brought down just shy of the sticks.
That was Phoenix Johnson on the hit. And he's a big player. He can make an impact at any time.
A tough player, a guy that, as we know, has been working through some injuries in practice and has been fighting through and just still working to get his chance, making 100%. A play there. Third and 3, ball on the Tornado 28. McDaniel and Smith, the corners, and a new quarterback in. It's a fake handoff. Quarterback will keep it and lose yards.
Yep.
That's Cade McCoy coming downhill from his safety spot to make the play.
And number 78, the right guard, he just didn't block.
There is a flag, however. It looks like it'll be a false start against the Knights. We'll wait on confirmation here from the official. An illegal motion.
Tackle was number 26, Lawrence McCoy. Tornado tackle was by number 26.
He goes by Cade, just for future reference.
By who? By what?
Cade. And now, 4th and 6. After that penalty was declined. 4th and 6 from the Tornado 31, 2:20 to go, 7-6. Georgia Knights leading this one. Kuntz back in. He'll take the snap and drop. Immediate pressure in his face. Throwing and caught. That one's caught around the 10-yard line. I believe that's number 85.
Cameron Blanding on
He'll
the
have
blitz
the grab there.
If he was just a half a second faster, he could have made the sack.
That's not Brendan Hamrick. Brendan Hamrick lives in my neighborhood. That's not it. But if that's the name, we can go with it.
Can't get another one?
No, because he did go to this school. He just quit.
Oh, okay. They replaced them.
So first and goal now from the 10 after that grab. Tornado defense trying to hold strong here, down just a point as we near halftime. A screen out to the right side, tackled by Jalen Smith. Big play there from Smitty.
He read that perfectly. He got off his block and just came downhill.
Great break, great angle, and a big TFL there on first and goal.
Second and goal.
Hopefully
Whoa.
this Tornadoes offense can get another chance at the ball before going into the half.
Sort of looking like they're just going to need to get the stop and then take it into the half and regroup. But a timeout here by the Knights. And the clock will be stopped. Stopped a little bit late. You see Zach Orr shaking his head down there on the sideline up at our clock guys. And now the clock guys are up here throwing fingers at each other now.
He just said reset it to something. Did you hear him? No, he asked him.
I'm the play clock, jackass.
And
Ask the ref.
now
Yeah,
we'll
we're having trouble with the
wait on
clock
some
here.
adjustments with the clock. It's a lot of bickering going on up here between the clock guys. And I think 56 is what it'll be reset to. And now our clock guys have reset the clock to 56 minutes, so we've got a lot of ball game left. And there we go, 56 seconds on the clock, and the Georgia Knights sitting at the 16-yard line, the second and goal. And so some Tornadoes and Tornado coaches looking up here at the box with some disappointment.
Disappointment and confusion all over.
They're ball players, coach, not clock guys. That one's thrown over the middle, caught, and into the end zone for a Georgia Knights touchdown. So the Tornadoes will get a chance at the ball back. It looks like number 4, Christian Robertson, on that grab. It'll put the Knights up 7, and the PAT could put them up 8.
Robertson really just attacked the ball. That's all you need to do, jump up in the air. Come down with it.
They kick an extra point or go for 2?
And it looks like the Knights are going to go for 2 so they can be up 2 scores.
They really have this left corner spread out wide. And
They
yep,
do.
it's going to be a run to the
Handoff
left.
up the middle is tackled. I think he's short. And it looks like he is. Parker Summey making sure that they did not get that conversion, and it's a 1-touchdown game.
Yep, at the end of the day, if you're not getting sacks, you got to stop the run, which is what he's doing.
No good. So Summy's listed as a tight end. He plays both ways?
He was a tight end, but he moved to the D-line. He don't play with.
D-line.
He's not really got the time.
Someone thought so once upon a time.
48 seconds to go in this one. 13-6 Knights now, and we'll see how aggressive or conservative the Tornado offense is here with less than a minute to go, and an offense that really has not moved the ball well so far.
Who's deep for us?
Hopefully we can get a score here going into the half.
Who's back?
And that'll put us even with the PAT.
Back deep for the Tornadoes.
Josh Gibson back deep as well as Will Green.
Number 2, William Green.
Somebody got fired because Green was not on that opening kickoff return.
No.
I believe it was Simpkins who was out there next to Gibson. Now it's Will Green, the former Decula Falcon. And here is another kick from the big man. Green will field it himself. Green at the 30, puts a move on 35, and he'll be brought down just in front of the 35. But now 42 seconds to go, and I believe all of your timeouts. You can afford to be a little aggressive here if you're Kramer and the Tornadoes.
Yep. Big man still coming in on defense there at the nose guard position.
13-6 ball game. 42.4 remaining here in the first half. A Hotly contested first half. A game that has seen its fair share of errors on both sides. Kramer takes the first snap of the drive, scanning. Now he's going to roll out left. He's got room to run. Kramer will get the first down and more near midfield. Looks like they'll spot him a yard shy of midfield. 32.6 to go. A long play there.
Yeah, they wasted a little too much time on that play, but that's all right. Got out of bounds.
32.6 to go, 13-6 Knights. Aiden Freilich and Josh Gibson out wide to the right. Braxton Mueller in the slot to the right side. Kramer looking, quick throw out left. He will skip it short in front of Kufi Disla. Intended target there, Diego. So now 24 seconds to go, down by a touchdown. Not sure exactly what kind of range the JV kickers have. Not sure exactly where we need to get it to here. Ball right at midfield. And I'd look for the Tornadoes to take a shot here on second down.
100%.
Simpkins out wide to the right. Freilich, the slot. Mueller and Gibson to the left. Kramer looking, throwing, left. It is short, but Gibson will come back and make the catch. And I believe a Tornado timeout will come, and it will.
Yep, Ashton Williams, left tackle, giving Kramer tons of time there, put him in the dirt.
A great catch there by Gibson as well. Kramer sort of fired that one quickly, almost skipped it like he did the pass before, but Gibson able to work his body and come back to the football and make a nice extended catch, working back towards his quarterback.
Yep, 100%. Gibson, he's an electric guy to watch on the field.
He's from the Peach State, as most guys from Georgia are.
Chips, candy, Pepsi products, Gatorade, water, Jets Pizza, and Poppy popcorn. Oh, it's so good.
Still haven't seen a few Tornadoes in this ball game. See what all we get in the second half.
And I wonder if it's time for maybe a quarterback switch up here. I know in previous games they let quarterbacks rotate drives, but seems to be like Thomas Kramer's getting all the action today.
This is Thomas Kramer's game, legacy game. 19.6 to go here in half number one. In a game that feels like the Tornadoes have barely moved the ball. They're inside midfield, down a touchdown. Chance to make something shake here in these last few plays. Kramer, quick throw left side, Simpkins. Simpkins going inside, breaks off one tackle, and needs to hurry up and get down, and he will. And the clock continues to run despite a timeout being called.
Yep.
Tornadoes will use their second timeout.
Yeah, it seemed like some of the players didn't know the ball's even being snapped at the bottom of the screen there.
That was an interesting play call / decision by Thomas Kramer. I know he wasn't the one that called the play. That's why I'm saying interesting decision on his part when you're down a touchdown just inside midfield, throwing a quick screen out of the left with no blockers.
Yeah, it was him and 3 Knights.
8.9 seconds to go in this one. $13-6. Just under 9 seconds to go, and we'll see if the Tornadoes want to go for 2 plays or take one long shot here to end off the half. And remember, folks, we will not have a regular halftime, so don't go anywhere. It'll be an extended timeout at the half. Kramer, another quick throw out to the left. This one will be caught by Braxton Mueller.
Yep. Good decision to get out of bounds that quickly.
And again, I don't know why they're throwing these quick plays with less than 15 seconds to go, unless you're just trying to pad the stats.
Yeah, I mean,
or they just want to get a little bit closer for a shot for Kramer. 5.6 to go. Could be the final play of the first half. Tornadoes trailing it 13-6. Simpkins out wide to the right. Gibson to the left. Kramer dropping, looking, throwing, end zone, and out of the reach of Gibson. Overshot him by a fairly decent margin there. And we will head to the half, quote unquote, with the Nados trailing 13-6. It will be an extended timeout, not a regular halftime. So we will take a step aside for just a moment, and we will return for the second half. Nados trailing it by 7. Brady Penn and Obi Grimes on the call here from Ives Lamel Family Field. Back here in a moment. All right, folks, after that quick halftime, back here for half number 2, Brady Penn and Obadiah Grimes on the call, and the Tornadoes will kick away to the Knights, trailing by a touchdown. An interesting game so far, an interesting lead up to the game, and an interesting contest itself so far here at Ives Lamel. 13-6.
This is a good game, though. Real close. You'd like to see it.
Probably, aside from the home Palmetto game last year, the closest that the Tornadoes on JV have been to a victory at the half so far.
Yeah, and hopefully they can keep it close and tight.
Absolutely.
Not let it get away from them.
A big kick here. Booted deep all the way back into the end zone. Great kick. And now returning this one to the outside, getting blocks and getting brought down there is the return man. That looks like number 82, Connor Forloin, making the tackle there. It looks like Georgia Knights may have wanted a horse collar there. It looked like he might have had a grasp on it at first, but let go and was able to make the tackle. But how about the kick by Joshua Childs out of Smith Station, Alabama, booting that one to the end zone. And Hugo Taylor, our starting varsity kicker, just got kicked off the clock. And, man, if Childs hits a few more kicks like that, maybe he could get kicked off kickoff duty. Just kidding. All jokes aside, Hugo's an amazing kicker, the two-time already USA South Special Teams Player of the Week, and we're only halfway through the year.
Yep. Hugo, he can get it done.
Not the best clock guy, though, as we found out. Has been fired for the infamous tic-tac, taking his place. Carter Rollerson on the clock now. And we're trying to bring you the most behind-the-scenes look that we can. And now, before the play clock expires, Georgia Knights will have to use their first timeout of the second half before they even run a play from scrimmage.
Hopefully the defense can get a stop here, get the ball back to the offense, and then go down and score. And hopefully make a turnover, keep it close into the red zone for the offense.
Absolutely important to get the defense to kind of build some momentum for the offense, sort of the way they did with that Davion Coleman interception early, which so far has led to the only Tornado score. And like we were saying, you want to turn defense into offense. (13-6) as we get underway here in half number 2. Maury McDaniel and Justin Tournier, the two corners, Coleman and Caden Thompson at safety with Richardson at the nickel. And a new quarterback here in the second half, at least on this play, is 89 playing quarterback. He will keep it himself and get about 5. And we don't have a number for 89, so another anonymous Georgia Knight in on quarterback there, and now Coots comes in.
This front four for the Tornadoes is really penetrating the offensive line there, getting the job done with that Eduardo Alvala on the tackle there.
See Brandon Moody in there at nose, Parker Summy, Eddie Alvala, as you said, and then
Eli Brown
coming off that left edge. Jet motion here. A little touch pass, and now trying to break outside, getting outside and getting the first down.
Sumi was right there to make the play. He's a bigger guy. I can't blame him.
Number 80, Tyler Brent there, able to get around the corner, get to that edge. So a fresh set of downs for the Knights. 10:53 remaining here in the third. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Kuntz takes a snap, dropping back, looking deep down the middle. He will not get it in there. Great pass deflection there by, I believe, Caden Thompson.
Yep, just got to stand up perfectly in time. See, a couple of the guys had PI.
Off the hand, it looked like Kuntz overthrew his man, ended up dropping perfectly into the basket, but the hand of Caden Thompson keeping that one from being completed. Hutchinson coming off the field, Richardson coming on now.
I wouldn't be surprised here if the Georgia Knights ran outside zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody here would be surprised. Anybody at least that gets this football thing sees that outside zone has been their most successful run concept. Kuntz dropping back once more. This time wants another deep shot down the right side. His man is open. He's got him. Gets by Tournier into the end zone. 60 yards through the air for another Georgia Knight touchdown.
They said forget the outside zone. We're airing it out the rest of the game.
They said it's an air raid here in the second half. And that'll be a 2-score lead now for the Knights early on in quarter number 3. And you can only keep the defense out there for so long before you start to find holes. Obviously, the offense hasn't been able to sustain many drives. And as a result, defense perhaps getting a little bit tired, not to mention without a real halftime.
You know, it looks like number 6, Elijah Burkhays, is strapping his helmet up, looking like he's ready to go in to play quarterback for this drive at least.
Still do see Kramer warming up on the sideline, so more on that in a second once we see the offense come out. The extra point is good, and it is a 20-6 ball game here. $14-point lead for the Knights. A couple of minutes into the third quarter here. And we'll see, is it going to be Steele once again on the kick? River Steele? Doesn't look like it. Looks like we might have. Oh, no, it is. Here he comes with the kicking tee.
The big unit.
River Steele. That's just a ball player, folks.
Yeah, that's all-around athlete.
That
He
is
gets it done.
That is a football player. River Steele.
And he has more kicks good than our kickers.
And I know we want the Tornadoes to win this game. How awesome would it be if he just pulled out a prime Joey Julius move and just laid somebody out?
Oh, that would be amazing.
So here's Steele with the boot. His shortest kick of the afternoon is going to bounce in front of Green. It'll now be behind Green, who is fumbling it, tries to pick it up, and I think the Knights are going to have this one, and they do. A misplay there by Will Green. Kind of wasn't sure if he wanted to come up or catch it on a bounce. Instead, it bounced behind him. He tried to pick it up, and it fell out of his fingertips. And kind of going against what we were just saying, offense not able to even come onto the field to give the defense rest. Will Green fumbling that kickoff, and here comes the defense once again with the Knights set up really well.
Yeah, that was a crucial play. Now the defense is in a bend or break moment, and hopefully they're just going to bend and not break and not give up another touchdown or any points at all, hopefully.
Would love to see another turnover forced here by the Tornado defense and kind of bring some juice into this Tornado team. So 10:09 to go, and the Knights could bust this thing open. They'll start just outside the 20. Kuntz takes the snap now, whistles blow. And I believe it'll be a delay of game.
And it seemed like number 23, Eddie, had a free rush there. So that kind of stinks that he couldn't get a sack.
Another chance hopefully here in a moment as number 80, Tyler Brent, was the one lined up in the backfield there on that last play. Brent now will stay in the huddle. We'll see where he lines up at on 1st and 15 from the Tornado 26. The one good thing is if you can stop them and keep them in field goal range, I don't think they can try/make a field goal unless it's from very close. It is still Brent in the backfield. Kuntz will take it and drop back to pass. Looking, throws it up right side of the end zone. Caught. No, he's out of bounds. Smith able to kind of leverage that receiver out of bounds. He's not able to come down with it inside the lines, and it'll set up second down. As you can see, Kuntz clearly wants to get it to the end zone. He's taken three or four shots in a row now.
Yep, like I said, they just want to throw the ball.
Maybe trying to lull this Tornado defense in the first half with all those outside runs, and now it might be time to let it fly.
Yeah, I mean,
especially with a 2-score lead.
Their game plan seems to be going well for them.
This time, Kuntz will hand off his running back, slips, and will lose yards.
Even if he hadn't slipped, there was a couple more Tornadoes in the area.
Yeah, Brandon Moody, the first one there, and he's able to bring down the back. And now here's the third and very long. 3rd and 16 from the 26. Tornado defense doing a good job.
Yep. They should, like I said, bender break moment.
Third and 17. Kuntz Dropping back, stepping up, he'll move right. He's able to evade the man, now looking to throw over the middle. It is caught
Caught on the one.
just short of the end zone. That one's going to be caught. I believe Caden Thompson was the defender in the area, not able to knock that one out.
And we had pressure on the quarterback there in that situation. He just rolled out right, threw it up there, which seems to be the story for this second half.
About 8.5 to go. 20-6. And another NFL update for you. The Eagles and Commanders heading to overtime at 31 apiece. First and goal from the 1 now. Kuntz, quick throw on the slant. Knocked up in the air. Caught by another Knight who will be brought down. And it's a touchdown. McDaniel tried to bring him down. Now there's a flag on the outside. We'll see what all this is about. He looked for the slant. It got knocked up in the air and caught by another Knight. And we'll see. The referee's discussing here with 8:02 to go in quarter number 3. And so there will be no foul, and the touchdown will stand. We're looking at an ineligible man down the field, but due to the pass being knocked up in the air, it did not count as a penalty. So a big lead now has been opened up for the Knights, and the Tornado offense will have its work cut out for it. And it looks like another 2-point try coming here for the Georgia Knights Prep Academy.
Not giving River Steel any love. Let him kick the ball.
Yeah, River Steel kind of getting shaded here a little bit by this Georgia Knights coaching staff. Let the big guy eat. Kuntz dropping, looking right, throwing over the middle, caught, and the conversion is good. And
it looked like Kuntz was looking for that back corner.
And eventually went through his progressions and found the man over the middle.
Yep, it's still good. The offense really has to get something going here.
Absolutely, now down 28-6. And really, their only score came from an interception that placed them inside the 5. Other than that, have not been able to get into the red zone. So want to get something going, and looks like it could be Berghayes coming out on this drive. And another NFL update for you guys. The Los Angeles Rams have just knocked off the Indianapolis Colts in overtime, a game that the Rams had a big lead in, blew it, and then able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat in overtime.
Some might say ball doesn't lie.
Steals kick this time, fielded by Gibson. He's going to take off with it. Gibson makes a spin move but gets brought down. Gets good yardage, though, just inside midfield, and now a flag going up in the air. Looks like some extracurricular between some Knights and Tornadoes, and let's get this all sorted out. The Tornado fans not happy with whatever just occurred there. I was busy looking at the spot of the ball.
There might be Demekus Taylor on the extracurricular activity there. Just uncalled for. And especially while you're up.
Yeah, no need to put the Tornadoes back in this game from a Georgia Knights perspective, but it will be unnecessary roughness against Demekus Taylor. It'll add 15 on to Josh Gibson's return, and the Tornadoes will start things off in Knight territory.
Hopefully this is what the Tornadoes just needed, just getting the ball over the midway point.
Hopefully we see similar to what we saw in that Maryville game last Saturday, a quiet offensive first half for both teams, and then both teams just started trading blows offensively in that second half. And it will be Elijah Berghayes taking over at quarterback here for Kramer to start the second half off. Luongo is going to immediately get met by about 5 different Knights players, and he'll be brought down for a loss on the opening play.
Yep.
Of offense in the second half for the Tornadoes.
It looked like they were trying to run some trickery there with the split back formation and the close side running back going behind, and just a little handoff to the other to the far side running back coming back towards us.
2nd down and 12 now after that loss, 2-yard loss on the run by Luongo.
And the offensive line just needs to hold their box for another couple seconds, and everything will be successful.
Berghaze under center now. Vincent Griffin in the backfield. Rolling out to his right is Berghaze. He has Freilich. Freilich gets a block, gets hit from behind, but will get inside the 40. He'll set up a 3rd down.
Yep, Brevard right back to their PA boot.
And I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen more Vincent Griffin. He got that one toss play earlier, had some really good speed getting to the outside. And in that first home JV game against Palmetto, Vincent Griffin had a really good game when me and Trey were on the call. And we've only seen him really once. And on 3rd and 5, he is in. So let's see if they give him the football here or decide to air it out. 3rd and 5 from the Georgia Knight 36. Berghaze going to drop back. Going to throw it deep. Looking for Simpkins. Caught! Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Tornadoes. Perfectly placed there by Berghaze to Simpkins down the field, just inside that pylon, but there is a flag on the far side of the field. Referees will talk this one over. Hopefully this one stands, because that was the best offensive play we've seen of the afternoon from Brevard.
Hopefully this is not holding.
And we'll see what the Whitecap has to say as he heads towards the middle of the field. Oh, an ineligible man down the field on the far side. And Georgia Knights straight up getting bailed out there. Ineligible man down the field will negate a Tornado touchdown and move them back for an even longer 3rd down try from just outside of the Georgia Knight 40.
This is really hurting the Tornadoes. They really needed that play there. But hopefully we can shake back and make another big play.
A tough call there, a call that really doesn't have any impact on the play either. I know you still have to call it if you see it at your discretion, but, man.
Those just kind of sting.
The little things. Freilich in motion. D lineman jumps. They snap the ball. Berghaze, the flag is thrown. Berghaze will throw it out.
That'll be a free play.
Caught by number 17, Eddie Bell, but
hopefully that's enough to give him a first down.
Thinking this is going to be a penalty against number 34 on the Georgia Knights, Ty Todd. Looked like he jumped. It's a matter of if they got the snap off in time. I believe I did see the flag get thrown. And awaiting word still. And it will be offsides against the Knights. And so another 3rd down try here for the Tornadoes. 3rd and 5 from the 36 of the Knights. Zion Cower lined up out wide to the right. Blake Shepard moving across the formation to the left. Heavy set to the left here for the Nados. Berghaze can't handle the snap. He's just going to have to pick it up and go down with it. And just Tornadoes, key error after key error here, especially offensively.
4th and 9. Doesn't seem like the punt unit's coming out onto the field. They might go for it here.
The Tornado offense here, the JV offense doing things that if Tornado fans were watching on a Saturday might give them an aneurysm. There's some just micro mistakes that lead to a bit of a snowball on the offensive end. Cower now out wide to the left. Bell out wide to the right.
Seems like the Knights are loading the box up.
Berghaze takes a snap, throwing it up. Left side, Cower ran the wrong route. Looked like a miscommunication, no flags, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Looked like Cower set it down around the sticks, and Berghaze thought he was going deep. A miscommunication one way or the other, whether due to Berghaze or Cower.
And what could have been a 30-yard touchdown pass turned into nothing.
An illegal man downfield on the far side of the play on a shot play. I understand, again, as a referee, you've got to call things where you see fit, but, man, that's not a flag I feel like needed to be thrown.
And Brendan Rice in the game, number 92.
Recently converted to D-line, correct?
Yes, recently converted to D-line from offensive line out of Kentucky.
Kuntz finds his man over the middle on the first play. He makes a move, cut into the outside. He's got a lead blocker, and he will be brought down inside the 15. A big play on the catch and run there for the Knights. And the Knights really starting to find a groove offensively, unlike the Tornadoes.
Roach is just having himself a game. He already had a huge touchdown earlier in that big play to change the field.
I guess when you play like that, you only need one name. He's like Seal. Just the alias.
Or Shakira.
The artist formerly known as Roach.
I wonder if he has his own emblem like Prince. He doesn't even have a name.
Just a little cockroach. On a guitar or something. Kuntz takes the snap, looking left. He's going to step up and run with it, and he's going to break a tackle and will dive forward.
Down on the 1.
Down at the 1. Tornado's able to stop him from hitting pay dirt, at least for now. A game that in this third quarter has just really gotten away from the Tornadoes, and whether it's a combination of fatigue or whatever else, this has not been a good third quarter for Brevard on either side of the ball.
Not at all.
Really in all three phases. We had that botched kick return that really kind of set things in motion.
Yeah, that was a pivotal play for the Tornadoes.
Now a timeout coming here for the Nados as they try and gear up for a goal line stop, already down 3 scores.
The Brevard coaches seem very frustrated with what their guys are putting out there on the field.
3:47 to go in the third. 28-6 in favor of the Knights. Pretty rude of the Georgia Knights, if you ask me, to show up this late and treat the Tornadoes like this.
Yep. It's been quite a day. Originally scheduled for the 2 o'clock kickoff. Switched back all the way to 3:15.
Got moved to 2:30, then 3:15. We were told they were 10 minutes away, yet somehow did not see them take the field for probably another 40. Yeah. And the Georgia Knights did eventually find their way here, and now they have found their way to a 28-6 lead here in the third with 3:47 remaining. Game that got off to a promising start for the Tornadoes. They led it 6-0 after the interception by Davion Coleman and then the touchdown. Since then, it's been all Knights. Kuntz hands this one off. It's stuffed immediately. It looked like maybe Eli Brown in there. Or no, Jason Rodriguez.
Jason Rodriguez, he's a good player for us on Saturdays. I know he's on a handful of special teams, but
Freshman linebacker. Clock continues to roll closer to 3 minutes. Kuntz hands it off again, stuffed again. Tornadoes on first and second down, up for the task. And Kuntz looking over to the sideline. He wants a certain call, it looks like. He's giving certain signals over to his coaches, hoping for a play here.
He's sick and tired of running the ball inside.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's looking for the goal line fade here or possibly the slant.
Yep.
2 balls that he has gone to so far.
Watch that for that slot receiver to run the corner route as well, to that back pylon.
Dropping back, fade ball. Looking for his man, one-handed try. Cannot come down with it. Spangler in the coverage. Alex Spangler at corner. And it'll set up a 4th and goal. See if the Tornadoes can get a big stop here and keep the score where it's at with 2:43 to go in the third.
Keelan Lee seems like he really needed to just put two hands on the ball instead of trying to do too much with one.
As Coach Hoff tells you, though, you're longer with one than you are with two. Shout out Jack Willenhofer. Kuntz hands this one off. Does he get in? He does. Tornadoes hold the Knights for the first 3 plays from the one. Cannot get the final stop on 4th and goal, and another score for the Knights. That'll make it 34-6, and you got to let Rivers Steel kick now. I mean, come on. We'll see. It looks like they are going to send him out. Good for Steele. And for a game that's got shortened quarters and shortened halftime, this game feels like it's taking forever.
Yeah.
Some sloppiness on both sides and perhaps even with the officials.
I think it has everything to do with the heat coming from the sun. It's just sitting up there.
And now they are going to go for 2. Kuntz will keep. He will get in. So now a 30-point lead for the Knights, and this one, it's safe to say, has gotten away from the Tornadoes on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, Kuntz is doing it with his legs and his arm.
2:38 to go here in the third, 36-6, and the Knights have outscored Brevard 36-0 since the opening score of the ball game. Not what you're looking for at all if you're the Tornadoes.
Yeah, this game has really flipped itself over on its head from what Brevard was hoping for. Starting the game off 6-0.
Gibson and Simpkins will both be back there to return on this one. As we near the 4th quarter. So it'll be Steele once again to kick it off. And here it is. Steele will kick this one off to Gibson. Gibson will field it around the 25. Now at the 30, trying to break outside, and he'll be slung down just shy of the 35.
And like I was saying earlier, during the Georgia Knights return, instead of running east and west, let's go north and south.
You see on the tackle there, that's Kanye, 33, Kanye Riggins.
Kanye Riggins.
Bringing down Josh Gibson, and we'll have to tell Gibson later he got tackled by Kanye. Goodness, this sun is beaming down into this box right now.
It sure is. Hopefully we can get some action from Malcolm Winter Brown.
Some interesting names on the Georgia Knights roster, sort of like those old Key and Peele skits. Berg Hayes, hands off. Now with the middle, big run there. It's number 23, Nate Henderson from Columbus, North Carolina, 5'9", 220. Runs behind his pads.
He's running behind that offensive line as well. They're doing a great job on that play during the inside zone. Covering the guys they need to cover.
About 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Berg Hayes, Henderson still back there with him. He'll get the ball again. This time struggling to find space, but will push forward and get a yard or two just off of brute force.
And it looked like they just ran the same play just to the opposite side. Didn't work out too well for them.
They might here at the end of this third quarter try and ride Nate Henderson.
No, Nate.
And no Henderson coming off.
Seems to have a helmet malfunction.
2nd and 8, 1:20 to go here in the third. Berg Hayes, Luongo in the backfield now. Berg Hayes will drop back. Looking, firing up deep left. Both men fall, but it will be an uncatchable ball, no flag thrown, and maybe incidental tripping there. And it looks like Berghaze right now on his dropbacks, I'm not sure if he doesn't trust his O-line or what, but on his dropbacks, he's literally just taking a couple steps and just firing it up deep wherever it may land.
Yeah, and I think he's having a miscommunication with some of his receivers as well because they're not really speeding up to catch that go ball, and he's just letting it fly.
I mean, Berghaze is throwing it like he's got Tyreek Hill out there. Let's put it that way. Josh Gibson, a good player, but I'm not sure we'll say anybody on this campus is Tyreek Hill.
No, not at all.
3rd and 8, 1:01 to go in the third. Berghaze, toss play, Vincent Griffin. Griffin running through defenders, and he will set up what could be a 4th and manageable should the Tornadoes decide to go for it with 50 seconds and counting here remaining in the third. Vincent Griffin, once again, a guy that runs the ball hard and has good speed.
Yeah, I think he's really giving the Tornadoes a chance here. Hopefully, yep, it looks like they're going for it on 4th down.
.27 seconds, about 12 seconds separating game clock and the play clock here in the third. Gibson out wide to the right. Berghaze hands this one off, and getting the first down on the run here is Vincent Griffin. That will likely send us to the 4th.
And it looks like the Knights still doing a little extracurricular activity there and late hit on the quarterback during a run play.
And
something similar happened like that.
That will take us to the end of the third. We head to the 4th quarter. Tornadoes let things get away from them there in the third. They trail it 36-6, but trying to move the ball here on a late offensive possession as we head to the 4th. Back here in just a moment.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here for the 4th. Elijah Berghaze will start things off with a fresh set of downs, giving to Nate Henderson, who tries to find some room and will wind up getting about a yard.
Carried by number 23.
Yeah, that was a small gain.
Brought down by number 16, Jabari McNeil. Second down.
Devon Taylor coming onto the field, number 46.
Coming in, probably a run play. You know, he's a big enforcer in the run game, big blocker that's not shy when it comes to contact.
Nah, he wants to get up and get physical with somebody, which is what we need right now.
Not quite as tough in the trenches as we could be, at least on the offensive end. I won't say the same on the defensive side of the ball. Good effort from the D-line, especially once they've gotten backed up. Berghaze under center, brings Taylor in motion. Now hands off again to Henderson. Trying to find a hole to the outside, and he will lose a yard or two there. I think that Henderson shouldn't have hesitated there. Kind of should have just shot the hole, tried to get as much as he can. Instead, he tried to bounce it outside and nothing doing.
Yep.
And that's Gathers, correction, not Henderson.
Yep, Anson Gathers.
Third and 11 now. Tornadoes going to need to go through the air to get this one, more than likely.
Well, like you were saying earlier about the line situation, the offensive line's doing well. I don't know how old number 58 is, but.
Berghaze, play action. Boot. He's got his man open, and he skips it to him. Looking for Mueller there.
Pass intended to number 83, Brad
And
yeah, it just was some bad ball placement by Berghaus.
Mueller had room to run there. He definitely had the first down and probably more if Berghaus could hit him.
It looks like
And-
they're going to punt the ball.
Yep, it's going to be a punt, going to give an opportunity to Brian Walmsley Jr., my locker mate, the freshman punter from West Ashley, also the alma mater of Zach Orr.
Couple of goats come from
One on
high
the
school.
play clock, and now the play clock will hit 0, and it'll back Walmsley and the punt team up 5 yards.
This might help them out, though, so that they don't get a touchback and they can actually get the ball down somewhere close to the goal line.
I think, honestly, with these JV games, you want to get as many guys reps as possible, and instead of going for it in a low probability situation, 4th and 11, down big, you want to see if you can get Walmsley a rep at a punt here. Here it is. Walmsley, a good punt, is going to bounce, and he's going to field it. That one was about to go in the end zone. For some reason, he tried to field it, breaks a tackle, and now is going to get stuck just in front of the end zone. Tornadoes want the safety. I don't think they're going to get it.
They couldn't have written that up any better.
Justin Tournier was the first man down the field there. He wasn't able to make the tackle. And then a group of Tornadoes swarming him right at the 1 yard line. If the Tornado D-line can get a good push here, you could get a safety and some more points on the board, get the ball back.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what's going to have to come down to. This defense is going to have to play a little offense.
So 1st and 10 from their own 1. The shadow of their own goalpost hanging over the Knights, but the score isn't. A double reverse here, and it's going the other way to the left side for a first down and more. Gain of about 19 there.
Little trickery from the Georgia Knights. I don't think I was even expecting that. So
I don't think I was either.
pretty good play call.
That's a bold play call on your own 1 yard line. If
Yeah.
something goes wrong on an exchange, it's toast, but worked out there for the Knights, and they continue to have success on the offensive side of things here in the second half.
Parker Summy and Sam Bella.
1st and 10. Kuntz looking to air it out. Down the right side. Step for step with Richardson. And he will not be able to bring it in. A.J.
needs to look
Richardson
like
there.
he needs to step up his celebration game a little bit.
It's AJ's got the default animation package, all right? He didn't spend VC on any of the good celebrations.
That's okay, though. He's got the mouthpiece.
If he lets the play talk for himself, that's fine.
Yep, that's all that matters.
Everybody loves AJ, man. Character on this Brevard team.
Yep, AJ is one of the loved ones, Mr. Worldwide.
2nd down. This time, Kuntz looking over the middle, fires a dart. That will be caught, and now a group of Tornadoes tackling the receiver, including Cade McCoy. Now Richardson will come off in favor of Maury McDaniel. 8:39 and counting to go here in the 4th.
And Sumi getting subbed out for Heath on the D-line position there. Brandon Moody's in as well. Eli Brown, and can't see that far side. And
Tornadoes
Caleb Moore. Yep.
not going to be able to come back in this one, but just going to try and get some quality reps here over these final 8 minutes. Got another JV game here in 2 weeks against another prep school. Now delay a game against the Georgia Knights. Advanced Prep Academy in 2 weeks here at 2 o'clock. Tentative kickoff time, as we learned today. 8 minutes to go here. Kuntz going to step up, throw to his left, and looked like it was intended for Tyler Brent. Overshot him and nearly hit the man behind him.
And Brandon Moody had just beat his man one-on-one, and he was about to make a play, putting pressure on the quarterback.
I believe that was number 16, Jabari McNeil, who him and Brent were right there. 2nd and 15. This one, a handoff. A hole opens up over the middle. Green coming in to make the tackle. He will. It'll set up a more manageable 3rd down. Tyler Brent on the carry there. Hole opening up there in the middle. Getting about 10 there on the run. 7.5 to go until this one is in the books.
And this Georgia Knights offensive line just seems to do their job just well enough.
If the first hole isn't there, these running backs seem keen enough to find that second hole or make the right cut or bounce to find space.
Yeah, it's almost like that's how they practice it.
3rd and 5. Another handoff here to Brent. He is trying to get to the outside and will not be able to get there. Brought down by number 38, Jason Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a stop, and another 4th down try coming here, it looks like, from the Georgia Knights with 6:43 to go.
And a couple bad angles. It could have been a TFL instead of
With the length of this game and this game day, I'm all for both teams running the ball a lot over these last few plays.
Yeah.
And aside from clock purposes, we've seen good things from the NATO running backs. Kuntz under pressure, throws it up down the right side. He's got his man. Beats McDaniel down the field. He was under pressure and threw it up. McDaniel may have slowed up a bit and now gives up a big catch.
And Kuntz took a huge hit from a couple of the tornadoes on the defensive line.
Is that Moody and Brown?
Yep, and there was one
there?
more coming off the edge, I believe. I didn't catch his number.
Clock continues to move now inside 6 minutes. 36-6, Georgia Knights. And McDaniel, after that one, going to get subbed out for Jalen Smith. Kuntz looking, throwing over the middle. He had his man. It was 89 once again, but this time through his hands. And now a flag on the far side in front of the Georgia Knights sideline.
And as a receiver, I feel like he really just needed to go and get that one. Hit his hands. It's perfect. Just make a play.
Maybe a little bit behind him, but it's still a ball that you've got to have.
Yeah.
It'll be another ineligible man down the field, this time against the Knights. Remember, that was a penalty that wiped out a Tornado touchdown back in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, completely killing some of the momentum for the Tornadoes on the offensive side of the ball.
100% killing momentum. As we've seen, the Knights able to keep climbing and keep putting up points, and now trying to do the same thing here with 5:34 to go. 2nd and 10. Kuntz throwing over the middle. Caught and dropped, and I think that one hit the ground. I don't think he was able to control that all the way. Was he? They're going to say that he was. He caught it, went to the ground, it bounced up, and he was able to catch it on the second effort. Apparently, at least according to the referee's discretion, it never touched the ground. So, as it stands, a great catch by Jabari McNeil. Got the replay here. As the Georgia Knights about to snap the ball. Kuntz to the right. Caught. Did he make the catch and stay in? He did not. Fumbling it just enough as his foot stepped out of bounds. Smith was trying to knock that one away and be incomplete. 2nd down.
It looked like it could have been a pick there. It looked like Smith had his hands on the ball.
Back to this replay for McNeil. Let's check it out. And it looks like he did secure it against his body as the ball started to come out up in the air. It never did touch the ground, I don't think. Just off that replay, great catch by Jabari McNeil. Second and goal from the 2 now for Kuntz and the Knights. Brings a man in motion across, and now a flag. A penalty-riddled game on both sides, it feels like. False start. And maybe, perhaps a little bit of it is the officials making sure they get their money's worth after having to wait for so long. They definitely did not seem happy to wait on the Georgia Knights.
No, not at all. That's why I'm kind of surprised there's as many flags as there are, especially illegal men downfield.
Yeah.
That penalty was on River Steele.
Second and goal from the 7. That one knocked away. Smith able to get the deflection there. Jalen Smith has been in on a few plays, and now he sets up a 3rd and goal. And now Eli Brown going to come back in.
And if the Tornadoes still want to stay in this ball game with only 4 minutes left, they really need to pass rush here.
Well, I think the case of win or loss, that ship has sailed. But
yeah,
once again, the Tornadoes can get some good reps, some good looks, and some good film here. 3rd and goal from the 7. Kuntz, pump fakes, stepping up, going to throw over the middle, caught. Another touchdown for the Knights, this time with just under 5 minutes to go. And weird, the referees. And the touchdown will stand. The referees were kind of standing there a little bit confused.
Yeah, no, neither one of the sideline refs gave a signal for a touchdown or not.
They said, you guys see him in the end zone. We don't got to call it.
It's obvious.
Yeah, I really want to see some documentation on 89 because we don't have a name for him on the roster. He could be 32 as far as we know. All jokes aside, it is a touchdown for him and the Knights, and they will go for 2 as the whistle blows. Delay of game against them, however, so that'll back them up 5. And we'll see if they let River Steel get another chance at a PAT here. I mean, come on.
Need to let the big guy kick.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't look like they have any interest in that, however. So here comes a conversion attempt from the 8-yard line. And now another whistle blowing.
I believe this one's a false start.
It's a false start against the Georgia Knights, and this game, this contest is dying a slow and painful death. So this is just disrespectful to River Steel. This ball's backed all the way up to the 13, and they still won't kick it. This time, new quarterback in. He's going to throw it out to the left, and it'll be knocked away. And that was Chris Washington, number 7 there, in at quarterback.
Like you said earlier, just disrespect.
Not respect. That's not respect.
That is not respect.
4:27 to go, 42-6. A game that was once 6-0 Tornadoes has done a complete 180, as you can see. And again, as I said, I'm a big fan of the Tornadoes running the ball here. Try and kill a little bit of clock.
I think the Wyatt gave a signal to run the clock earlier during that 2-point conversion. I don't think our guys up here got the message.
This game was scheduled for a 2 o'clock kickoff, as we said, and we now sit at 4:58 Eastern. And we've got a lot of hard-working Brevard College student-athletes that have been worked to death today. Just joking. We don't have to do anything that crazy. But Still a long day, thanks to the Georgia Knights travel delays, whatever you want to call it. Had somebody saying that their bus caught on fire. I don't think that was a credible source on that one, but I digress. 4:27 to go. 42-6, Georgia Knights. And here's River Steel. This one will be fielded by Simpkins, who will take it. 30, 35, makes a cut. It'll be brought down just in front of the 40. And Davion Coleman just snatched a towel from a Georgia Knights player, and the referee did not miss it. That'll be a flag. Coleman stole the towel.
Stuff like that's just kind of uncalled for. It's
Especially
late in the game. We're down by so much.
You're down 42-6. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
as good of a game as Coleman has played, especially in the first half. It's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah. Let's be a little more humble.
And now it's going to erase some of that big return that had him right near midfield. So. And so that flag will go against Coleman and take away 15 yards and place the Tornadoes back at, I believe, the 26. It was after the play, so now a spot foul.
And substitution, Steven Victoriano, also known as LDV, subbing in at left guard.
First and 10, handoff here to the outside is tackled immediately. That's number 22, Jaden Jackson. Clock under 4 minutes here. Luongo coming in. Berghaze still in at quarterback. 3:35 to go here in this one.
Play clock slowly winding down. I don't know if they'll get a playoff in time.
And no urgency here from the Tornado offense. Berghaze still not even looking. And that's going to be a delay of game penalty. Just no sense of urgency in the huddle for this offense.
They seem very defeated.
And, you know, for guys that are hungry for reps, it's not really what you think you're going to see, but there's a reason the score says what it says. (42-6), 3:18 and counting. And that's not to take away from the efforts of these guys, but just little procedural things that need to get cleaned up. Is that one a run to the right?
The small things matter.
I just want to. I know we had some comments that might have gotten taken the wrong way in the last game. I just want to clarify. These guys are trying hard. These guys do show up and work every day. But, again, just small things like that you can't have are the reason that games start to snowball on you like this one has. So 3rd and 19 after back-to-back negative plays. Luongo will head off the field. It's like Jaden Jackson.
And from the
in
formation
the
they're
backfield.
in, I think they're going to run the ball.
3rd and 17. And a little counter play there with number 27, I believe Nicholas Black. Yes, Nicholas Black, the running back.
The punt team is running onto the field.
And the Knights will get one last shot on offense if they choose. And Walmsley will get another punt attempt here. Clock under 2 minutes now. Low snap. Walmsley picks it up off the ground. He'll punt. It'll be a short punt that will be picked up. And now the Knights are going to run with it. They fumble it. It's back on the ground, running across field to the left now. Flag is thrown at the 30, 20, 10, and he will find his way into the end zone, but a slew of flags now, a push late from a Tornado player.
And I'm not surprised. I'm surprised there was no roughing the punter there. as he had clearly kicked the ball and they still went and hit him.
That was
A lot
that
of
was an
undisciplined
ugly
things
play
both
from top
sides.
to bottom.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And it'll be an illegal blindside block against the Georgia Knights. We've got some clock guys up here complaining about the aesthetics of some of the Tornado jerseys. 1:34 to go. Ball will be placed at midfield exactly. So the Tornado JV program still will be searching for their first victory in 2 weeks in their next contest. 1:34 to go. Kuntz going to wind up and throw down the left sideline. Left alone there is his man, number 9, R.J. Phillips.
And it just seems to be that some of the Tornado players are just giving up on this game.
It's a little disheartening to see.
Yeah,
Not even going to lie. Not what you want to see. Whether the score is 100-0 or 7-0. Clock stopped, 1:17 to go. And now a flag. Illegal substitution against the Georgia Knights. And I mean, listen, once again, I understand as a referee you're programmed to call the things you see. But dude, there's a minute 17 left and it's 42-6.
yeah, this is coming to a grinding halt.
As our man Phil DeMontmollin said over here, grinding halt. Slow burn as Kuntz under pressure, going to try and get rid of this one, and will. It's caught, and coming in to make the tackle, Hutchinson and a couple other Tornadoes. 51 seconds and counting in this one. And now time will be called. Looks like Tony Belcher. Guy, it's not a stranger to bumps and bruises.
Not at all.
He's had a few different surgeries over the past few years, and not something you want to see. He is walking off on his own strength, though. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
.8 to go. As Georgia Knights continue to get lined up, Tony Belcher.
Still not even off the field
Trainer
yet.
Andrew still walking off the field. .35 seconds. All right, we got another 10 seconds taken off the game clock. We're marching towards the finish line, fellas. 35 seconds to go. Trips right, single receiver to the left. Running back on the left hip of Kuntz. Clock rolls. Kuntz looking, throwing down the right side. Incomplete.
From this view up here, it looked like it was a touchdown.
It looked like it was caught. It was not able, must have used the ground to control that one.
I believe Bryson Ruggs on the coverage.
And the Georgia Knights not taking their foot off the pedal at all. 27.7 to go. Two receivers out wide to the right. Kuntz, and now a timeout called.
Oh. Or it's a flag.
And no, it'll be a false start. Did not see the yellow flag fly in. It was on the near side, kind of covered up by the Tornado players. 26 seconds to go. (42-6). Kuntz takes a high snap, hands it off. Ball's on the ground. The Tornadoes come up with it. And it will be a fumble recovered by the Tornadoes. So a nice finishing touch here for the Tornadoes. James McLean, who's had a really good game. He's been in the backfield quite a few times, just recovered that fumble. And McLean, the freshman out of Denver, North Carolina, East Lincoln High School, has had one of the bigger defensive impacts in this one.
If only he had gotten that a quarter sooner.
That third quarter will really be where you just look back on this one as the wheels falling off. A good first half for the Tornadoes, especially defensively. But in this third quarter, Tornadoes on all phases of the game were not up to standard, and as a result, the score stands at 42-6. And Berghaze, once again, going to take a delay of game, and this offense just cannot get set. They're not even paying attention to the play clock.
Not at all.
And from a neutral standpoint, it's frustrating to see. Especially as the quarterback, you've got to take control, know where your guys are supposed to be at, and know where the clock sits at, and get urgent when you need to, but did not see that at all today.
Job description.
So you see those kind of things more from the veteran Kramer, but with Berghaze, the freshman, not ready for all that, as that one, a big tackle there. Luongo, and that could be and should be the final play of the game. Clock ticking down, both teams walking off, and that is going to do it. Not much to say about this one. 42-6, Georgia Knights. The game started off positive for the Tornadoes. Davion Coleman had the interception on the defensive side of things to get them inside the 5. Tornadoes punched it in to get off to a 6-0 lead, and from that point forward, it was all Georgia Knights. No stats on hand for this one, so not really sure where everybody ended up in terms of final numbers, but the Tornadoes do fall 42-6. In 2 weeks here at Ives Lamel, Tornadoes will have another JV contest against Advanced Prep Academy, and this coming Saturday, the varsity Tornadoes will take on Southern Virginia, looking to move to 3-0 in the conference. Don't miss either of those. A pleasure to be on the call here today for you with Obi Grimes. I am Brady Penn. Thank you all for tuning in. Tornadoes falling in this one. Let's go, Nados.